Alright, I have to like turn my mic on and like actually stream. I can't just sit here and talk shit and chat all day. Anyway, what is up everybody? That is some really loud music right there. So, I have no idea what we're doing today because I haven't had time to think. We'll probably just do some, NA, maybe fight Leonidas or something. We'll do some Stheno account, we'll do some account reviews, maybe fight Gwaine some. Hi, Cairo. Turn it up. It's pretty loud. Anyway, so I fought the Taiga challenge quest today, and I was like, okay, let's do, summon a strong DPS, then do mostly a budget setup, and I was just gonna use a few different Lancers and see how they did. So it took I summoned a Valkyrie, right? And then I used all budget supports, and it took me 4 tries to actually win, right? And I got pretty good luck too, right? It wasn't like I was getting terrible luck. So it took a minute. And I've done that challenge quest before, right? It's not like if I didn't already know what the challenge quest was, it would have taken way more tries than that, right? Then I did it with Parvati and 1 try, just one try. Okay, just easy. Not only did Parvati do it in 1 try, but it really wasn't close, right? Like she just absolutely destroyed it. I was like, well, that's that. All right, let me see if we got anything we need to do on, this is the Stheno account right now. Let me take a peek here, then we'll probably go fight Leonidas. I mean, I've already made multiple videos for those challenge quests, so there's no reason to make another one. I get I've said this like every time, but I get so tired of people asking me to do stuff on NA because I'm not gonna do stuff on NA, because if I want to make content for this game, it's gonna be on an account that is actually prepared, and my NA account is not prepared, and I'm not gonna play NA enough to get it prepared because I don't give a fuck. It's like, if I was gonna make a video, I'd have to make something more useful or more interesting than what I did on JP, but there's no world where I'm doing that, where I barely touch the account. Like, what am I gonna do, right? Like, it's silly. And it just happens over and over and over and over. Like, it's just every event. It's like, you're gonna do an A, you're gonna do an A. It's like, Jesus Christ. It doesn't matter though. It's like, it doesn't, JP could be on fire and it doesn't make me want to make NA videos. Like, what's the, how many times do I have to say, okay, I just uploaded that Burgist video, right? And I remember one of the first comments I got was, you would have got more views if you made these individual separate videos. Like, I don't know that. I haven't been on YouTube for years. Like, I didn't know that, right? But I don't care. What am I? Oh yeah, I gotta make that money, right? It's not important, right? I do things because it's worth doing. I'm not gonna. If I wanted to get the monies, obviously I'd make NA content and make some clickbait title and. Oh my god, this Taiga challenge quest, but I don't care. I've already made like 2 videos for it that I'm happy with, right? Like, I don't need to make another one that's gonna be worse just to do it, right? Like, that's pointless. That's bad content. It's garbage. It's like when Miyu got buffed, right? I didn't make a video. It's like, is she better than Merlin? Question mark. Make that the thumbnail, right? If I did that, I'd get a lot of views. But it's garbage, right? It's just nonsense. I don't have interest in doing that. My house isn't being foreclosed on, is what I'm saying, chat. By the way, Miyu's not better than Merlin. Alright, let's, where are we? We are in, oh god, we're still in America. What, oh god. Oh, for some, chat, holy shit, for like the last 3 days, I haven't touched the Stheno account, because for some reason, I thought I was done with America. And I was like, okay, I'll just not play the Stheno account until the summer event, because I don't want to do Camelot until I've at least done 1 event, right? So I don't need to play, no, I haven't beat America yet, and of course I haven't. It's really fucking long. Oh my god. And like, I was sick the other day because of my allergy shots, so I was like really out of it. Because I have to get 2 allergy shots, by the way, because I'm like that allergic to everything. And so I was like, resting. And I was like, man, it's a shame I don't need to play the Stheno account, because while I'm all like pooped out here, I could just kind of like, autopilot play that. I could have been doing that. I seriously, for some reason, I thought I had finished America, but clearly not. Alright, we'll do a little bit of this, then we'll do like an account review, and then we'll do some NA. I want to fight Leonidas. I don't even know why I fought Taiga before I fought Leonidas, because Taiga's like the hardest of the first batch, right? This team could work. Yeah, I'll just do this in case, somebody dies. Oh yeah, there's the CE. That'll, 100 attack, 100 health. So good. Bust out the cope scope. Alright, off we go. Okay, game's a little loud. Turn that down a bit. But, let's see. We have, like, 3 days before JP gets any content. Oh, God. What a nightmare over there, dude. And I'm just so worried the summer event is going to be awful. Like, it's just going to be, like, the super autopilot-y, you know, fourth wall breaking fluff that has no, like, substance to it from a gameplay perspective. But I don't know, maybe, why is it? Oh, I'm turning down the wrong thing. I was like, why is it so loud? It's because, yeah, I got the wrong setting here. Okay. That ought to do it. That's better. Now I can hear myself think. Think there's going to even be new lotteries event with the new CQs? I mean, if you mean like the new fest? Because probably not. I think what it sounded like in that interview, and I'm okay with this. I think their decision makes sense. They're like, okay, we're not going to do the challenge quest spam during the lottery events because people want to farm, and I agree with that. That's just not the time to do a bunch of challenge quests at once, right? And the way they said it, it wasn't like they're not going to do challenge quests anymore. It sounded like they're going to. They're just going to do them at different times, and that's a way. Because even I, who am very gameplay focused, you know, I still want to farm, right? Because I want to use all the budget units. I want to level up the new budget units that come out and things like that, and I want to be able to do the new content with like the low stars that are prepared, right? So I want to farm when it's efficient to farm then. You know, I want to farm in lottery events so I can, you know, not in total not spend as much time farming, because I don't like farming. Farming sucks. So even I'm like, this is so annoying that, because the kind of videos I make are really hard to make, right? I can't just slap some powerful stuff together and cheese it. You know, I try to beat it with something reasonable and as minimal as I can go, or with it being minimal and then also units that I like, right? And that takes a while. I gotta trial and error some things and, you know, figure out what the right stuff to bring is, and then you gotta record it, and then, you know, you gotta edit the video, and that takes a long time, and you gotta render the video, and that takes a long time, and then you gotta upload the video, and that takes a long time. So it takes away almost, like, each challenge quest would take away, you know, hours and hours and hours, if not a whole day of my ability to farm, and there's like 12 challenge quests. That's most of the event. It's awful, right? Like it's really not great for like the way that I, you know, go about playing the game. So for me, I'm not even more in favor of them not doing it. Like, by all means, do challenge quests. Just don't put them with lottery events. It's like the worst fucking time to do it. Like, they should just separate the two because, or actually, let's be real. The actual way to fix this is don't make farming in your game so bad that you need lottery events to do anything efficient, right? That's kind of the problem, right? It's like the farming outside of lottery events is so bad that you are just desperate to get everything you need done during the lottery events, because any other time then it's just, you know, World War III. If they could just fix that, so, that'd probably be better. But, you know, F go. Let's see. In terms of a typical event format, though, I really wish they would do what they did in Good Final more. Like, that was a really good format for like keeping events efficient, different, fresh, and then also having good gameplay while you're at it, right? So I'd like to see more of that. Yeah, they did buff the drop rates, but it's not enough to, you know, fix things that much. According to them, it's like 10%, which is not really that big of a deal, to be honest. But hey, I'll take it over nothing. I wonder if that'll get reflected in those Google Docs where the people keep track of drop rates everywhere. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, Summer 3 was pretty bad. I did like the raids at the end, though. Like, that kind of stuff was fine. And Summer 3 did have good loot. You got good command codes, you got good stuff in the shop, you got lots of lores. I think you got 2 grails, right? The loot was incredible, but the effort was dull and repetitive. That's kind of repetitive what I just said there. Yeah, the drop rate increase will add up over time, especially if you're like, I need to farm 300 proofs. But for the most part, it's not going to make much difference. Do I need an assassin here? Right, we're not leveling 100 face right now because we're really stupid. Alright, Stheno account, excuse me. Get that out of here, what am I doing? Bringing Liz in the front row, what a joke. 300 proofs is like 2 servants. You're not even kidding. It depends on this. In some cases, it's actually not even 2 servants. It just depends. Now, it is for most of them, but there are a few that it isn't. Although, actually, now with the new passives, there's actually a lot of characters that it wouldn't finish. I think, though, for most characters, you're happy to just unlock the passive and not worry about leveling it. Leveling it is for those people you really care about, or that it's really practical to do so. Like maybe Asclepius for budget stuff, because then you can get his NP right away, really easily. I don't think that was the time for a Buster Chain, but whatever. Alright, let's beat this stage, we'll do an account review, and then we'll like go fight Leonidas or something. So I have fought the Taiga Challenge quest many times over my different accounts, and the reruns and everything. And I've actually never done it the single target way. And I know some people do, and you normally keep Nobu alive the longest if you do it the single target way. And because it's not hard to nuke them down, right? It's only kind of hard when you're AoEing. If to kill one at a time with single target with the amount of health that they have, and you have the event CE, it's not hard at all. And if you've got like the right supports to keep your team alive, it's totally reasonable to do it that way, but it's a very different route. And I've not even done it once. I've just seen other people do it, but one of these days I really should try that just to see if it's actually easier or not. I have no idea. I just Enkidu'd it last year by using him as last man standing. I mean, that'll work. Oh yeah, and Taiga has Divinity too. He might not be counterclassing, but he'll do really well there. And if Nobu's the last one, you can always use his normal cards as well. I wanted to try Scath, but I didn't actually do it, but I wanted to. I might do that at some point. I want to see how Scath does on cleanup against Taiga, because even though Taiga has quick resist, which is a really big problem, but Scath has the anti-divinity and everything. I suspect Scath wouldn't actually work that well, but you never know. Kind of wanted to see, because my Scath's level 100 in P3 and some shit. But yeah, Parvati and Valkyrie are definitely the easiest ways, in my opinion. If you can summon, if you've got them or you summon to friends, I think that's a really easy and reliable way to beat that stage. And then you just need something strong to clean up, which can be, it doesn't have to be a Saber, but it could be a Berserker, it could be something with a niche. Hell, it could be Ruler Martha. You could clean up with Ruler Martha, actually, I'd say pretty easily in that stage. And you got MHX A, or whatever the hell her name is. Which that one's not hard, but it's hard to figure out. I remember when I first did it and I had no idea what the gimmicks were, and I don't ever look that stuff up, I always figure it out for myself. It took me a minute to figure out what the hell was happening, and now, you figure out what's happening, but then you have to figure out what each of the enemies do, right? Because they do something different if you eat them or if she eats them, right? And there's negative and positives on both ends. So trying to figure out like the right course of action to like min-max your damage, survival, and killing what needs to be killed, and letting her kill what she needs to eat, and that kind of stuff. So I was pretty wild, so I really enjoyed that one. It's actually, to this day, one of the challenge quests I've definitely enjoyed the most, I think. It's not like my absolute favorite, but it's definitely up there. If I did like a top 20 best challenge quests, I think it would be on there. Theoretically, Stheno could insta-kill the caster. I'm not sure they're gonna do 54k, we'll see. Oh! Proto-Ku though, top tier, he just did infinite damage. What an amazing unit. I would have one-shot Fluffy's final health bar. The slight caveat that the odds of that happening against Fluffy are like 1 in a million, so... And actually, there's a chance that Fluffy is just immune to insta-death. They do that occasionally. Most bosses aren't. It's just the odds of it proccing are just astronomically bad. But who knows? They might have made him immune. They clearly wanted that to be hard. Although I suspect that they did not intend for Fluffy to be that hard. I think they absolutely wanted Fluffy to be the hardest boss in Lost Belt 6. But I doubt that they wanted it to be that bad. Oh yeah, he is immune. He's immune to stun, petrify, charm. Because a lot of bosses that are immune to stun are not immune to petrify, which is what like Gorgon and Medusa use and stuff. But he is, so rather unique like that. It's actually kind of a shame. That's one of the few real boosts to Medusa there, so you can stun things that a lot of other things can't. So that's one of the few times that it hasn't worked. All right, let's do an account review here. We will do Kurosum Day, because I know he's in chat, and his is up, so we'll do that. And I think Kier4, I think he's in chat too. And I've already got his downloaded as well. Alrighty, let me see if this is actually up on the screen properly. Kind of. Need to make it a little bit bigger. That is a giant blue bar, sir. Okay. Hello, Green. Been a subscriber for around a year. Don't know when I started. I remember when I first started watching your stream, I got into the argument with Rex on whether the Knights of the Round Table were based on Charlemagne. Anyway, it was dumb. Hope he didn't take offense to it. I mean, who cares? Doubt even remembers. Yeah, we're too old for this shit. You are my favorite streamer. Oh, thanks. Not to kiss ass, but you are truly blah blah. Okay, blah 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 blah. When I was searching for FGO YouTube videos, then bam, I got addicted to watching your stream. I don't often see people mention. Yeah, speaking of Dear Mid, I suspect this is one of those guys that I always talk about where you know, it really sucks to be a Dear Mid fan, and like I always say, they exist. People are like, oh, those don't exist. They exist. There's people out there that Dear Mid's their favorite Lancer, and then yet their buff to Dear Mid is just use Saber Dear Mid forehead. Like literally that used to be a joke, but I'm really starting to feel that way, right? They have not given him an animation update. They haven't buffed him. They don't use him in the story. They just don't do anything with Lancer Dear Mid, even though that's the original character, where they've done way more with Saber Dear Mid since he got added. And his animations are, you know, much better, and his gameplay's solid. He's not like the best Saber in the game, but he's completely solid. So it really is like, just roll Saber Dear Mid. Like there's a rumor going around that Saber Dear Mid is going to get a summer costume, and if they do that, I think that's just bullshit. Like, they should obviously give it to Lancer Dear Mid instead, because everyone has them, so it's doing the player base more of a favor, and they should always do at least 1 3-star in summer, and then you give them an animation update while you're at it, right? That'd have been awesome. But we'll see. We'll see. If I wouldn't shock me if they did it to Saber Dear Mid, though, because that'll make them money. Because they used to do a 3-star, a 4-star, and a 5-star for the males, but they didn't last year. Last year was a 4-star, a 4-star, and a 5-star, because money. You know, they're trying to incentivize people to roll on them. Where if you give, you know, Lancer Dear Mid a costume, that doesn't really incentivize anybody to roll on it. Where it does on the Saber. So yeah, it kind of sucks. But yeah, Dear Mid fans, it's a rough life. This is not really flex, I don't think. Some of my classes are kind of scuffed. Trying to get every unit in Fate 0 to MP5, explains the Dear Mid. They're my favorites. I don't really care about the waifu stuff. There is not even really a female servant I want besides Saber. I really like the Knights of the Round Table and their whole dynamic works, but I won't be grailing them. Would like to get them to MP5, though awesome welcoming. Any tips you can give? Alright, let's see what we're looking at here. Alrighty. So, 100 apples, that's something. So, I'm guessing you Dolphin, it sounds like. Yeah, I Dolphin. I have 576 days logged in. They're looking for things that are good with Fate Zero stuff. Well, thankfully, most of the Fate Zero servants are pretty easy to work with, right? The only one that you might have to get kind of specific with is Lancelot, the Berserker version. Okay, that's a nice way to do NP ranks right there. That makes it incredibly easy. And look, lost. Well, look what he did, right? He put it in the corner and on the opposite side of the skills, so it's not in the way of anything, right? Like, imagine doing that instead of just slapping them on the middle of their face. Okay, so we got Okita, very scuffed. We got Super Hokusai, but no skill ranks. But you have Lancelot, and he's already in P5. So a Hokusai versus Lancelot's always a hot topic. But I am a firm believer that if Lancelot is already in P5, then it's way in Lancelot's favor. Now, if Lancelot's like in P2 and Hokusai's in P5 because she's a welfare, then it's very debatable. But I think if they're both in P5, Lancelot's is just better, unless you just absolutely need guts for what you're doing. He doesn't want you to suffer, though? Yeah, because he's a reasonable human being. Imagine that. Alright, so lots of single target. What is the AoE here? So definitely I would very much level your Mordred because you like the Knights of the Round Table anyway, and then Mordred is super good for farming and AoE stuff. You don't have great AoE options. You do have Saber Altar, so that works, but if you have Saber Altar and Mordred, that'll be really good for farming and any like AoE needs you might have, like the Lancelot challenge, Leonidas challenge quest right now, which I have to imagine though you didn't have a problem with because, I mean, look at all these sabers. I mean, oh, you do have Gozen, so that's something. Yeah, you don't really have to level Mordred, but I think Mordred is a lot better for farming than Gozen. But yeah, you have lots of options here. So what am I saying? Yagyu would be a good option to level to work with Lancelot, just because they're both art and they work with each other pretty well. But you got your bases covered here. Okay, so you got Ishtar, that's good AoE and single target, really. I really wanted Gilgamesh. Well, he's rated up right now, so this was Stheno before the rate up, so maybe you got lucky with that. I got spooked by Atalante on the GSSR, got spooked by Ishtar. This is my most scuffed class. Any suggestions? Well, let's see. I mean, Atalante in P2 is an extremely good AoE unit, honestly. Really good for farming. You summon a friend Scatty, stuff like that. You pass the David test, so it's not that scuffed. I mean, you really can't have a scuffed archer slot if you've got a David with the second skill at 10, because David's that good. And then you've got not a whole lot of straightforward DPS, though, other than Ishtar. Why did you level so many AoE archers? I'm guessing you just like them or something, but like, you've got Ishtar, Riceman, Kid Gilgamesh, Atalante, and Arash. That is very derivative, right? Like, yeah, I know there's Dimia, but Dimia's not that good, to be honest. I mean, I guess in P2, actually, he's pretty solid, but he's still not, like, yeah, universal boss killer, but he's okay. I would probably level Robin. I mean, it's just Robin is really good. Because you've got Ishtar and Dimia, and normally that's enough. But between team costs and then needing like hard survival and single target nuking, I would level Robin. Like, I really would level Robin. Now, I wouldn't do it necessarily as your next level up, because I don't think your archer slot's really that scuffed. I mean, just Atalante, Dimia, Ishtar, David, Arash, right? Those right there will cover most bases you're ever going to have to deal with. Yeah, I'm not crazy about Dimia's toolkit. It's like the survivability is not very reliable, and the damage is not good enough to really warrant that. I think he's okay, though. I don't think he's bad. And at NP2, he does have a good performance. But Atalante is great for farming there, so that's good. She'd be worth getting to 10-10-10. I actually think Atalante scales quite well at 10-10-10. I think a lot of people poo-poo on her skills, but I think they're fine if they have the shorter cooldown and everything. Okay, so Super Deermid. So this definitely is one of those guys that I was talking about. The good news is, Deermid may be no coup, but if he is that upgraded, it's not like Deermid is bad. He has an upgraded NP. It is single target, buff removal is nice, and he has evade for surviving against bosses. That's really all you need out of a straightforward boss killer. Like, that's really all, that's it. Now, he's not going above and beyond. He's not like the ultimate, unit for fighting Fluffy or something, right? It's not anything that good, but it's good enough. And when he's that upgraded, I'm sure you use him like all the time, and he kills whatever archer challenge quest you're dealing with, right? I'm sure he'd work for the most part. It's just not maybe as smooth as you like. That fucking NP5 per body, though. I bet you that killed Taiga already. Jesus. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, she's in P2. I made a mistake. Oh, okay. Well, even at NP2, it's still really good. So have you already fought Taiga Kurusume Day? Because if you had, I'd imagine you used Taiga. What am I saying? You used Pravati, and that probably worked really well. No Secret Dearman's my favorite. Based on Nightcast in general. Wanted Karna, never got him. Elizabeth got Elizabeth 4 times. That sucks. She is good for farming though, and she's got decent team-wide buffs. I did get Vlad to level 5 in the meantime. Also NP2 and Kidu is nice if you ever level him. Yeah, and Kidu is like one of the best DPS in the game. I really stand by that. He's just so busted so often. He can murder any archer, main story fight, or challenge quest. He can murder almost anything as divinity. He can murder anything with threat to humanity. He has extremely good survivability. He gives you utility with the crit down. Like, he's so good. I would definitely level him on this account. Like, Dearmid, Enkidu, Pravati, that's enough to handle basically everything. And then Liz is actually decent for farming and such. Then you got some nice tech options here with like Vlad and so on and so forth. If you don't want to level Ku, you don't really need to. You've already got him up though. It's probably, at this point, it's probably worth getting PFA to 10 just to be safe. But other than that, I mean, your Lancer slot is fine. Maybe level Fionn way down the road if you're wanting like really good farming options, because Fionn's super good that way. But you don't need it. Like, you've got enough for farming. Because Pravati is good for farming. Liz is good for farming. Let me skip ahead though and look at your casters. Okay, so you have Scatty. So that makes your Pravati much better, and that makes Atalante here much better. So because you have Scatty, I would prioritize getting your skills up. If you care enough about farming anyway. And I would get Atalante's skills up, just because that's so good for farming, and it's good for some challenge quests too. So Pravati will do fine for farming though, as she is. So really, between your Atalante and Pravati, that'll farm a lot of stages. And you gotta know Kita to work with it too if you need it. Okay, so you've got all the big support. Wait, you don't have Waver? Okay, you don't have Waver. That's bad luck when you've got all that other stuff. But, I mean, it's okay. You can always summon a friend's Waver. You have your own Scatty. You can summon a friend's Scatty. You got Merlin. You got Caster Nero, who's the best DPS caster. It's either here. She's pretty much tied to Ilya, in my opinion. So, and she's in P2. So it's like, that's such a good assassin killer. You don't have to level any of the other DPS casters, in my opinion, at that point. And you have a Grail Gilius, though. So, I mean, obviously, that's the assassin killer, right? That'll get him. I like the Edison. You don't see that very often. So the Caster Guild's good with like your Lancelot, that kind of thing. Caster Guild and like Saber Lancelot's awesome. NP5 Helena, definitely my most skill ranked class. That's probably how it is for most people because there's just so many casters that are useful. I don't mind using the OP stuff to support my favorite stuff. So if that's the case, then definitely level your Scatty. You have a lot of quick stuff, so it just makes sense. Nothing that you really need to level here, though. You don't really have any gaps in your lineup. If you ever needed to level something, maybe just like get Caster Ku's skill ranks up for backup DPS. Maybe level a VC Braun just for his utility. And get, I will say this, get Mozart's skill ranks up. Because you don't have Tam, and Caster Artoria's not out yet, so Mozart's still really good for supporting a lot of the DPS that you have. And it's just really nice to have access to that guaranteed crit turn. Okay, so for riders, you got Ozzy, and he's in P2, 10-10. That's like that's just one of the best riders you could have. So that Demeter's already dead, right? She's not out yet, but Demeter's already dead. This Ozzy can probably solo Demeter for crying out loud. So between that and Rider Kentoki, there's no problem. You got Alex for the utility. You don't really need to level. I would level Martha. Oh my god. I say this every account review, so I don't think I need to say it because you've already heard me. You know, buff removal, debuff clear. You're going to need it for a lot of things. It's just super useful. Even if you don't level her skills, it's always good to get Martha up. Like, it's always good to get Martha up. She's super important. But yeah, you don't really need to work on your riders, in my opinion. Because, like, they're fine. Let's see. Oh, get Qin Gong up. Yeah, that's worth doing, because you've got Merlin and everything, and Qin Gong with Merlin is really good. So you definitely get Qin Gong up. And you do not have Asclepius, so Asclepius is rated up right now. And I legitimately recommend trying to get at least one copy of Asclepius to basically everyone that doesn't have him. Like seriously, because there's just so many boss fights that even if you have Merlin and Scatty and stuff like that, the debuffs can still make a huge problem. Yes, Asclepius is in the caster rate up. And that's actually you're more likely to get Asclepius there than if he was rated up solo. So you actually have better odds of getting Asclepius now than ever. Like and I think today is the last day to do it. So if you want a good chance at Asclepius, like literally right now on the NA server, you can roll right now. And in my opinion, it is worth a chunk of SQ. And yeah, you gotta budget around it because it can definitely hit you in the SQ. But getting one copy of Asclepius is completely worth it because there's a lot of boss fights down the road that are very debuff based, and there's just not a lot of supports in the game to help you with that. And Asclepius, like Fluffy, Asclepius is so good for the Fluffy fight. He's really good for a lot of other fights as well. So if you don't have an Asclepius, I really do recommend trying to get at least one copy. Now, if you have Martha and you invest in her, that can hold you over. It really can. If you're going to pass on Asclepius, though, I would really try to get Martha's cooldown a reduction for her debuff clear. But there are a lot of fights that Asclepius will work and Martha won't, but there are fights where Martha can work, so especially if you use stronger supports, you can use a weaker unit like Martha compared to Asclepius and make up for it with other units. Okay, I believe either Merlin and Gramps. Wait, what were you? I'm confused here. Funny story, I believe either Merlin and Gramps with my GSSR. I think he means like you got, I'm confused. I think he may have gotten both of them. I mean, I'm just missing something here. I got them back to back as well. My least favorite class, probably besides caster. Also 100 Face is so fucking good. Yeah, she is. She is the best MP spammer I own. So she's Grail maxed out, so that's good. Honestly, you don't need another single target assassin at that point. But you've got MHX. And you've got Gramps. They're both NP1, and the performance in NP1 is a little scuffed. And then you got Yan NP2, but Yan sucks on an A, so it doesn't really help. Kurotsugu is worth using because you like Fate Zero anyway, and Kurotsugu's synergy, even at NP1, is super good with 100 Face. If I was going to focus on anything on this account right now, it'd probably be Kurotsugu, and then like something for AoE, just for farming, because you have like none of that. You have Nieder Chris, but she's not that good for farming. Maybe, I don't know, get Fuma up maybe just because he's got good utility. So Jack is worth leveling, but you don't need it. If you don't like Jack, you don't have to worry about it. But Jackie is very good even at NP1. But between the assassins you already got, you don't really have to level anything. I would just try to get Kurotsugu up. Failed the Charlotte test, that's not a thing. Okay, so there's your Lancelot, NP3. Good that you have Scatty, because that'll actually work. Let's see, you got Coup Alter. Coup Alter is really good for a lot of these Neurofest fights. Now you might want to get his skill ranks up, and you actually get him to 90 if you're wanting to do that. But Coup Alter is a very, very good unit for almost every single challenge quest in Gilfest right now. Like, he'll make a lot of them easier. And because yours is NP2, you know, all the better. So if you could get him to 10-10-10, if you get stuck on something, it definitely helps. But this account definitely has everything it would need for all the challenge quests in Gilfest. Because you've got OP supports like Merlin and Scatty, and you've got multiple good DPS options. The hardest will be Achilles, but that's always the case. But you've got some okay options for it. I'm not sure what the best one would be though. Ozzy's not bad actually. Probably Coup Alter though. If you level up Coup Alter, I'd say Coup Alter's. If you do like Merlin and your Coup Alter, that'll work really well. But you don't need to level anything here because again, you got Lancelot for farming. You've got Hercules and Coup Alter for single target. There's not much need for Nightingale skill ranks when you've got Merlin, so there's really nothing you need to work on here. You could level the banana for the utility, right? But it's not really that important, I would say. Want to level Beowulf and Vlad? Beowulf is good, honestly, because he does do something different than Coup Alter. Beowulf's way more bursty, so it's not like he's useless, but overall, Coup Alter is much better than Beowulf. But Beowulf gets buffs down the road, and he does offer some nice burst damage. And I use Beowulf all the time. It's not like he's bad, it's just... There's no world where you need him on your account, though, because your account is so strong. Alright, so Joan of Arc, super good for this account. Is good in general. She's also good for most of the Gilf fights. You got Mash maxed out. That's good. You don't really have a good Avenger for killing bosses like Zeus and stuff, but your supports and everything are strong enough it won't matter. But you don't really have a good ruler killer Luvia might actually be worth leveling on this account just for some utility options. So you beat the CCC event and you forgot to buy BB from the shop. Well, you can get her from the main interlude down the road. You get 1 copy for free, so that's at least a little bit more. But the rest costs rare prisms. Oh, you didn't get her, I see, you got her, you didn't get her ascension items. Those are actually free in the main interlude. So you can get them. I think that comes to NA in like, I don't know, 8 months or something. It's not that far off, so that's okay. Joan of Arc I don't think is the best unit in the game. She is really good, but I think in terms of just overall broken carry support, I would say that's probably Merlin, but Joan of Arc really is good. I think she's underestimated how good she is. She's pretty wild. You don't really have anything you need to work on in this count, though. I mean, I would just get Robin up. That makes sense. Get Qin Gong up. Level Martha's skills, especially her debuff clear, because you don't have a lot of anti-debuff on this account. And maybe level Mordred for farming. But, I mean, you're pretty prepared. Get Scatty skill ranks up. You have enough quick stuff, like getting Scatty and Atalante skill ups is totally worth doing. But yeah, nothing really pressing here. Alright, there's no CE picture, but should be. I assume you have a lot of like the typical stuff. I'm trying to think of this. Yeah, maybe in Kidu. I really do think, like, when right now, if you fought Fluffy right now, you probably have a really bad time against Fluffy because you don't have that good of a DPS for him. And you don't have Asclepius, but if you get Asclepius and you level in Kidu, you already have a really good account then for killing Fluffy. Because you've got the supports for Fluffy. Like, Merlin will make Fluffy so much easier. You just don't have a DPS that like really stands out as being super good against Fluffy. But you got plenty of time before Fluffy comes to NA. But you already have everything you need for Demeter and Zeus and Aphrodite. Zeus will probably be the hardest for this account, but I don't think it'll be that bad. Okay, let's jump on NA and do like the Leonidas challenge quest or something, because for some reason I haven't done that one yet, and I've already got NA up. Let me switch the screen over here. Nope, that's the wrong one. What's going, why is it? There we go. It's because I had another one in the background, that's why it was messing up. Okay, man, I'm so scatterbrained today. I don't even know what the hell is going on, but it's because I barely slept yesterday because I had to wake up so early for my doctor's appointment. I slept pretty good actually last night. It's the night before that I didn't really sleep. And I did sleep okay last night, but one night of sleep doesn't normally catch you up, so I'm a little scatterbrained right now. If I get good sleep again tonight, though, I should be okay. Thankfully, my doctor's appointments moving forward are going to be later in the day, so I don't have to wake up stupid early anymore. Leveling Sanson right now. I cannot recommend that. I really cannot recommend that. Let's see, what have we done? We've done Rice Man, we've done Taiga. That's it. That's so, I like how I've done Taiga, right? Like, that's the hardest one, and that's the one that I've done, but I guess it is the one worth knocking out. Where are we in the lottery here? 7. I have not done a whole lot here. Alright, let's do Leonidas. I like that one. So, my biggest hate for... Oh, this is another reason I don't do NA stuff very often. And this is a big fucking reason I don't have an account, an ult account on NA. So if I want to summon something weak or reasonable or like on par, I can't. Because this is, I think a lot of people know what I'm talking about. A lot of time with the support list, you either have to summon something really OP like Waver or Merlin or something that would, you know, I don't want to use those in videos. So you have to use something like that. Or you have to summon something completely useless that is just completely unapplicable to the stage. Right, like they don't have it in event CE, like they're just useless. They're a dead slot. So it's either something busted that's going to make it easier than you would like, or it's something so worthless that it's bullshit and annoying, right? Combine that with the fact that I just don't play NA very much, and like my NA account can't afford to, you know, take liberties like that. It's terrible for making videos. Like what am I gonna do? Slap Waver? Like almost all my videos would have to have something OP in it or something useless, right? I don't want to do that. What do we want to summon though for Leonidas? I want to use something. The problem is almost no one slots event CEs, which makes no sense to me. But so what I just said is kind of what we're looking at. I could summon that. Cairo, what are these skill ranks? What is that? You've been playing since like day fucking 1, and you like Lancelot, and you're over here with 7, 4, 10. I don't play NA either, but I bet you my Lancelot skill ranks are better than that. Let's find out. I'm not sure about that. I just used them for a team. I was messing about. I used him as my backup saver, but I didn't actually pay attention to what my skill ranks were. Like, I did it right before the stream. Okay, he's pretty good, right? Like, I could get that cooldown reduction. You know what? I'm gonna upgrade it now. Pretty sure my Lancelot on this account is pretty high NP rank. Oh god, that's a lot of void dust though. Oh, that bites. Ooh, that does suck a bit there. Yeah, I slot people for people on NA all the time. Yeah, I've seen you summon my Mozart a lot. Yeah, I wish I had something like that that I could easily summon. Alright, what do we want to use here? We've done a lot of setups for this in the past, so we're kind of free to do whatever we want. I want to see like a saber that just is unique. I mean, I've never used it. I've never used that for this challenge quest. I'm sure it's good enough. God damn it, he's here. He's watching. I haven't said it in ages, right? I have not confirmed that he's in my chat, but I know he's here. I can feel his like eyes watching me. Like, he's totally here right now. Alright, fine. He put the CE on and everything. Alright, let's slap a team together here. Alright, let me think. We could do Mordred, right? If we want to use some stronger stuff, we could do the whole father-son combo here. What else? What does this account have, saber-wise? So we have Lancelot. So I haven't done this fight in quite a while. I don't actually remember it very well, and when Cairo played it the other day, I actually did not pay attention because I was doing stuff, so... I remember, like, straightforward support stuff is good, right? Like mash, taunts, right? That kind of stuff is good. Leonidas, right. Leonidas takes fuck all damage. This is what gets you. Everyone thinks it's the gimmick, and the gimmick is a problem, but what really will slow you down is Leonidas's defense up from his NP. That shit will wreck you, and if you can get rid of it, it actually makes the fight a lot easier. So, I will probably slap that on Mordred or something. They literally gave everyone the defense removal command code, so... You can also bring things like Clown Boy or you know, Meth, right? Things like that to buff block it. There's a lot of ways to deal with it. I think I did that in one of my videos. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I did. Because if his, if you can slow down his NPs or just stop them or block the effects or whatever, you can win the fight a lot faster than you otherwise could. And this is good to have on Mordred right now anyway. How many respec items do I have? Oh my god. Look, that's what you can tell I don't play NA. Because I don't ever finish events on NA. This is exactly why I don't make NA videos. Look, I have 13. I don't think I've ever used one. It's not like I'm respecing all the time, so I'm using them up. I just don't get them. I remember when I was at about this point on JP, I must have had 100 of these by now, right? Or at least like 70 or something. Like I had so many, but yeah, you can tell I don't keep up with NA at all. That's crazy though that I have that few. That's a little scary. Thankfully, free respecs are coming in like, I don't know, 8 months or something. But oh shit, that's rough. I wonder if that would work. I feel like there's no reason to have 2 at the start. So, because she's got the command code, starting like this is better. but I kind of want to use Artoria just because I've never really used Artoria on this stage before. And I don't think it'd be good to start with both unless I cycle taunt walls. Give me 1 second, checking Artoria's skills on NA. Okay, so she does not have her Ooga Booga buff. That's not surprising though, because that was that's like the anniversary, right? So yeah, that's not for a while. We might try this, see if we can meme it up. You could use Lobo here, yeah, that could be alright. You have to time it, but you could get some value out of that. I don't think he's the best buff removal though that you could have here, just because he's not counterclassing and single target's not that good, but it'd be alright. Might start with like Nash. Might be too slow, I don't know. Okay, George will be on the team at some point. Where the hell is my Mash? There she is. Man, I have so few golds, or like things of the high level on this account compared to my main. Very noticeable difference there. Could do Leonidas. This is a decent first setup, see if it works at all. I'm not sure about the mash at the start. It's like, the reason I don't like it is it's inconsistent who would die first. And like a Saber could actually die first before like the taunt walls come in and stuff. And that would be really shitty. Are there debuffs here? I feel like there are debuffs here at the end or something. Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like that's a thing. Man, dude, I wish Percival was out. Percival would be so much fun on this stage because healing and taunts and invulnerability are all good here. And then some of the enemies are actually archers, which would fuck up your sabers. So having a lancer that also taunts and does some damage himself would be really fun here. And then we have like a Knights of the Round Table theme going on right now anyway. So that'd be really cool. So that kind of sucks that you can't ever fight this stage again. I guess default Mystic Code is probably the way. I may be underestimating the damage of the ads in this fight. I know they do a lot, but we're not that stable at the start here. Yeah, there's a few fights where buff removal is good here. The thing about Lobo though, Lobo doesn't just remove the defense buff, he removes the taunt, and that can actually be really good because it can let you attack a grunt if you need to. I think I defense up right off the bat. I don't think I use Mordred's defense up yet though, they don't have that much damage. Do it next turn. Oh, Mordred doesn't have her buff yet either. That's kind of unfortunate. You didn't crit! And in front of the king! What is wrong with you? Wait, I swear, every time. This is absolutely why Camelot fell apart right here. Just fucking knights can't land their crits. Good god, dude. I was like, yeah, we'll get some NP gain in right now. No, we fucking ain't. The music is aware. Could I kill this guy before Probably not. Before an NP. Well, we'll see. By the way, starting with Waver instead of Mash would be way better because you get the defense up, but then you also get your NP. Like, I could NP right now if I had Waver. Yeah, I don't like Mash on the front, though. Okay, I need to NP then before that guy gets his NP. Okay, Artoria, if you'd like to get your NP right now, that would be swell. Doing max NP gain combo. Not even close. Mash! Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, if you don't get your NP, we're gonna have a problem here. Well, we need... This is why there's no reason to have, like, Artoria and Mordred on the front. Like, neither of them have their NP, but it'd be easier to get one of their NPs if I had the rest of the team more focused on that. We're gonna have to wait a while now, which is not good. Do I kill the archer just because I can? Probably. You know what I should have done? I should have saved Instinct and tried to use the crits to kill the 150k guy. I think that would have been better. This is quite a bad start. Story is a strong word to describe Septum. Yeah, it's more like a really, really bad amusement park. Leonidas just made a very bad decision there. Because now he doesn't get the taunt. That actually helps us quite a bit. Yeah, this is... Dude, Mash was a terrible opening unit. Because Mordred could die before Mash. Mash is... Wait, how is Mash at full health, though? That don't make no fucking sense. Like, that don't make any fucking sense. This is really bad, like, the way this is going. Don't kill Artoria. Woo! Alright, we need to clean some clocks here. Artoria's got the Brave Chain. I think we go with her then. We're not gonna do anything to Leonidas this turn. Actually, that really wasn't that bad. I mean, it's not a lot of damage, right? But for this early in the fight, that was something. Okay. Is it worth it for... I don't think it's worth it for Mordred to NP because I can kill these two so easily. Okay. I could probably still kill those, but I should probably NP. I really wish I had something to stabilize Mordred right now. I could use her third skill, but I want to save that. Do I use the Buster Up to do more damage to Leonidas? I want to say no. Because if I could get like one more cheeky NP off. Dude, why is Mash at full health right now? Fuck me. I don't know. Actually, Mordred might have been able to do real damage this turn, so maybe I should have done the Buster Up. Yeah, it might have been worth. Hey, Trap. I'm a bit tired today, but other than that, I'm doing good. He's fucking up his taunt again. Okay, this turn's gonna be kind of annoying. Like, I taunt on Mash, then I use Mordred's third skill. Do I do Instinct to try to get a lucky crit with an art card? You know what? Let's do it. You never know. Got that 70% crit, but we'll take the NP. Okay, Mordred can NP. Mash. I honestly would have preferred you die there. Like, I'm serious, I would have preferred if she had died. That sounds like such a. I sound like an evil, like an antagonist in like a movie or something where, like, you know, they've got like their child what's that guy, the dude in Lord of the Rings, right? He was like, he wished Faramir died, right? That's what I sound like. I'm that guy. Okay, I think we have Mordred NP because she can do the Buzz Drop, and I think we'll actually break Leonidas's health bar here. We would absolutely do it if I did the attack up, but I don't think we need it. Let's see. I really, really need Mash to die, but one of these days. Deathanor? Is that his name? What kind of fucking name is that? Danethor? Whatever the fuck. I would never remember that guy's name. I'm not like a huge Lord of the Rings nerd or anything, so I don't like. Fuck! I didn't do. That's not enough damage. Uh-oh. That man is still alive. Fuck you! Oh my god. Well, there goes their guts. We can kill him now. I guess I buff Artoria. It's weird using Artoria because I like never use her for anything. Yeah, I've tested her in the past and we use her on stream, I guess, from time to time, but I've never used her for anything like this. Really. Do I do the art on Artoria? Because she gets, I think I do, because she gets her third skill back, and she might actually be able to NP again. Mordred and Artoria doing battery things. George will probably only live 2 turns here. He would need a different craft essence if you wanted him to live 3 turns. I think I did that attack buff too soon. I think I should. Oh, those fucks. I forgot about that. Well, there goes my third skill. Man! Okay, actually, George is looking okay here because the ads were dead. We're at the point, though, where we do real damage. Brave Chain will do pretty good damage, but I could do Art Buster quick to get more NP gain. I think George has NP charge on death. Am I smart? Did I do that? I did. Yeah, we're gonna go NP gain then. Or we could Art Chain. Nah, that's not that much better. It's Art Chain is better, but it's not that much better, so I'll take a little bit more damage too. Actually, Mordred's gain rate isn't exactly incredible. The Art Chain might have been the play there. Mordred relies on her overcharge and her third skill quite a bit. Good music right here. Man, this command code though is cleaning house right now. Wow. Because you wouldn't, if you didn't have that, you'd have to work in another unit to deal with the defense up. And if you don't deal with the defense up, it really will slow you down. Like, I mean, it will very much slow you down. I feel like the command code makes this significantly easier. Like, I suspect we'd probably just now be in his second health bar if it wasn't for the command code, I suspect. I'm gonna do instinct, see if I can get an art crit. I want to do that Buster card, but I'll go for NP gain. Leonidas fighting this doppelganger, whatever the fuck. Hey, boy. Technically, that Morgan is not related to Mordred. One turn and we get Mordred's third skill. So I'm literally doing the art card first, so I get NP gain on Mordred's Buster card, so she gets to 69 Kappa, and then I can round up to 100. That's absolutely the right play though. Like, abso-fucking-lutely. If I didn't do that, I would not have Mordred's NP right now, and it would have been possible. Like, there'd been no way to have gotten it. That's totally worth it. Okay, at this point, I don't think we're getting any more NPs, so... So, I feel like this team would have been better if I just didn't use Mash at the start. Mash was kind of bad. I mean, she wasn't terrible, the taunt and stuff, but I think the setup would have been better without Mash. She made it a little shaky when it didn't need to be. This was pretty easy, though. That's kind of what happens when you use 2 AoE 5 stars. Because even without the command code, I think this setup would have worked. But the thing is, you can only summon, if you don't have your own good saber, you can only summon one, right? So that you'd have to use Fergus or something like that. But I've made videos that work that way. But yeah, if you have 2 good sabers, it seems to actually not be that bad. It's actually probably better though to only use 1 saber if you have good supports. Like, just like support the 1 saber and have them NP even more and that kind of thing. But I mean, this totally worked. Now imagine if you had to fight all the Spartans afterwards. Bedivere with the killsteal. I wonder if you could win this stage if you brought nothing but battery sabers. Like, because there's a lot of sabers like Mordred and Artoria. Like, there's a lot. I wonder if you just brought a full team of them. I don't know if you have the team cost to do that, but if you could, I wonder if that would work. That's true. If you could use Ibaraki, then Ibuki, what am I saying? Yeah, Ibuki would definitely be really good there. Like, she'd be super good there. But yeah, she doesn't exist in time. Okay, that was honestly quite, like, we didn't optimize that team on the slightest, so that really wasn't that hard. But that's what happens when you bring powerful stuff, which is why I don't normally do that. Alright, let's do an account review here. Let's do Kai 4, I'm not sure how you say that. I think it's Car 4. But that's my best guess. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, that is way off center. Joined almost 1.5 years ago. Completely free to play, focusing on main story and challenge quests. Like to use my favorite units in budget setups and soloing. All welfares are MP5. Would like some advice on future story, content, and challenge quests. So, okay, NA. So I remember the main story that's coming. I have absolutely no idea what the fuck is coming up event-wise. It's Kira. Oh, so it's 4. The 4 is an A, so it's Kira. Okay. Leet speak. I'm a boomer. What do you want from me? Saber Wars 2. Oh God. Good luck with that one. Yeah, I can think of AoE Berserker, AoE Berserker, AoE Berserker, AoE Berserker. So that's the one for that. Oni Land. That one wasn't. That was like what? That was wasn't it shooting and the little shit Ilya, the alter ego Ilya? That one was just like you could do any night classes and riders and that kind of stuff. I'll try to remember those challenge quests, but yeah, it's easier for me to remember main story just because they're set. It's really hard to remember what's coming up on an A challenge quest wise. I should put more effort into doing that though, because I'd be more useful to people if I did. All right, so Super Nero. I may not be much of a Nero fan, but she's in P2 and then maxed out like that. That is very strong. It's good for farming. It's good for challenge quests. Does she have her battery yet on an A? I feel like she actually doesn't. I think she gets that soon though. Like, doesn't she get that in the CCC main interlude or whatever? Because once she has her battery, she is so good for farming because she's got decent damage and she gets the MP nice and smooth. Like, oh, she does have it? Okay, so yeah, that Nero is so good then for a lot of stuff. Honestly, you could probably use this Nero for that Oni Land challenge quest. Off memory, night classes were pretty good there because there's an alter ego, and a lot of people won't have like a proper counter class to that. And the night classes were still fine against, yeah, I'd imagine that soloed Leo. There's a few AoE sabers that can solo it, and I imagine she could because she's, that's like the perfect scenario for her. You know, she's counterclassing, it's an AoE fight, she's AoE, right? That's exactly what she wants. And hey, Sharquado, thank you for the, oh, gifted sub, excuse me, gifted sub. What's up, man? I appreciate it. But yeah, I may not be a Nero fan, but she is very good, especially when she's upgraded like that. So that'll help you against plenty of content down the road. Like, no question. Let's see, though. So you've got... This is a... You don't see this very often, right? Like Rama and things like that. So we've got... Dion. And Dion is hard to recommend to people just because St. George exists. But if you have them and you want to use them, then it is really good to get the taunt to rank 10. It's really good to get his taunt to rank 10. That really helps out. So you don't really need any sabers, though. Between Nero, Bedivere, Rama... I mean, that's everything. And for farming, you even got Gozen. And Gozen and Nero pretty much all your farming needs. So, yeah, it's not an issue. So I mainly use Nero and solo for both. And single target AoE fights. I beat the Christmas challenge quest. Which one was that? I can't even, I don't remember. Man, I'm so out of date with NA, man. So I don't play NA very much, so I can never remember, like, what the hell is what. Where's Fergus? Oh god, is this one of those people that burns things? I will say this account can get away with not having Fergus, but I really disagree with people that burn things that they don't use. Like for the low stars, you should burn them after they're MP5, but you should get every 1 to 3 star and get all of them to MP5 because sometimes it's not. There's many reasons why. It's not just one, they could get buffed, and they're like, for example. There are some interludes out there where the rewards for clearing them is insane. Like, you get so much loot for it. So there's just in case, there's no reason not to have them. They can be bonus servants in events. That's a huge thing. So you sometimes not only the bonus servants for damage, there's sometimes bonus servants for drops. So there's no reason there's literally no reason to burn the 1 to 3 stars until after they're already in P5. Like, there's no point. It's so little mana prisms, it's just a complete waste. And it can really screw you over for some events, and you just never know what they're gonna add. So I really don't recommend doing that kind of thing. Like even if you don't like, I probably dislike Kiyohime more than anyone in my chat dislikes any unit, right? I really do not like Kiyohime, but I don't burn her, right? I don't use her, right? But just in case, she has an interlude that's important, or she has a bonus drop or whatever, it's like there's just no reason to get rid of her. Right? It's like, it's a video game. I'm not being emotionally attacked by pixels. It's like, relax. My main SU Saber is Bedivere. I mean, he works, right? He works just fine. I use him for like my budget stuff all the time. He's great, and he gets buffed in a bit, so yeah, he totally works. You should grail him then if you want to do that, though. That's what I would recommend. Okay, so Omega, what's her name? Chloe, whatever the fuck, Again, I really dislike her, but she's also insanely good. And she, to this day, I don't think there's ever been a time you need a single target archer where she's not good enough. I don't think that's ever happened. I think every tough saber boss or even berserker or just thing that calls for a generic knight class, like maybe if you had to use Chloe against an alter ego, like in the Oni Land challenge quest, she'll work great. Like, she'll work super great. You could absolutely shred the Oni Land challenge quest with Chloe as your main DPS if you wanted to, right? She's that good. And then so you got Imi at NP3, so that's good for farming. Okay, so you have I gotta roast you a little bit here. If you're gonna grail something, you get that shit to 10, 10, 10, right? Like you gotta prioritize that. And you've been playing for over a year, right? You've been playing for almost 2 years, so you've had plenty of time to get Kid Gil's skills up. Now I know, because I have Kid Gil, I know his skill ranks suck and it's really annoying. But if you're gonna grail him, you gotta get those skills up, right? You gotta get rid of those rookie numbers there. But Kid Gil was grailed for memes. I regret that decision. Well, I don't know what to tell you then. I don't know what to tell you then. I regret that decision. Yeah, I would regret that too. He's not really a good grail target. I hate to say that for the Kid Gil fans out there, all like 12 of them, but there's just, especially because you have Emiya, right? Like with Emiya, there's just not much point for Kid Gil. Well, if you don't even like him, then don't level his skills. I take back what I said. If you don't like him, don't level his skills. But on the flip side, you shouldn't have fucking grailed him then, Einstein. Thank you for the sub, Young. I appreciate it. Dude, I'm so low energy today because I'm so fucking tired from not sleeping and getting those shots, dude. Like, they wiped me the fuck out. I was so out of it yesterday, but we're getting there. I'll be fine tomorrow, I think. I think one more good night of sleep and I'll be ready to go. Dude, I have to do these shots for 4 fucking years. And I have to get 2 of them. Like, most people that do this have to get 1 shot. I have to get 2 every week for 4 fucking years. I'm like, oh, joy. They said though I'll get like more used to them and they won't make me as sick in future, so that's good. But yeah, that kind of sucks. I don't use Koro much. I don't use Koro much, but you grailed her to 100 and made her 10, 10, 10. She makes things too easy. I mean, that's fair. So Robin is my main. Oh, then you should get Robin to 10, 10, 10 then, especially his first skill. Like I presume NA had the maze event, right? So you've got the poison command code, right? Because you got the poison command code, Robin is a lot more consistent, but you're still gonna want that first skill at 10, right? The maximum uptime on poison is good, and also get his fucking evade up then, right? Because you might need to block like a boss's NPVs, because again, story content and challenge quests, right? We're not here to talk about farming too much, right? So in that case, if you're using Robin as your main, then fucking get those skills up. Like, never mind Kid Gil, throw that in the back burner. Get that Robin up. So you made the right call though with Billy. If you're gonna level something, you level the second skill, and you needed to get it to 10. So that was a good call actually. Billy's second skill at 10 is good. Passed the David test, so obviously all is forgiven there. And 6-10-6 actually makes a lot of sense for David, so that's good. And you got Chiron for support. That Chiron with Robin is actually very good. Like, it's very, very good. And you got Joan of Arc for farming, so that's good. Okay, probably get Proto Coup to 80. Yeah, it's just 2 grails, right? You can do Proto Coup and regular Coup. They actually work really well together. Got Lantoria to 90 now, so I'm guessing this picture's a bit out of date. What's her NP rank? NP1. Well, she's still okay for farm. I can't even believe I'm saying this. She's not great for farming, right? She's okay, and she can always clear a first wave and things like that. But you can use a Rosh or Spartacus to do that, right? Now, if she's NP5, then like, or even NP2 or 3, then Lancer Artoria can be really good for farming. But man, NP1 Lancer Artoria is really not that great for farming. Like, it's sad. Like, if they're archers, maybe she can clear a second wave, but she still doesn't do that good against archers, right, on a final wave. But you got Fionn, so Fionn's 10-10-4, that's pretty good skill ranks for him, so that's good for farming. Let me skip to casters real quick. Do we have, okay, we have Scatty. It's really relevant to know, Scatty and Waver, so you're never gonna have farming problems. I mean, it doesn't even matter, right? But your Valkyrie is really good then, though, because of Scatty. Like, they synergize so well together. for farming. It's great. It's also really good for this Taiga challenge quest. I imagine you've already beaten it, right? It took me so long to get to your account. I imagine you've already beaten the Taiga one because, I mean, Valkyrie's really good there, and you've got Scatty and Waver, so I can't imagine you had a hard time with Taiga. But yeah, Valkyrie, Scatty, Waver, that's the way to beat Taiga there. Okay, so you've got Ku, he's maxed out level 90. That's a nice standard place to take Ku to. That's what most people do. Then you've got Lee and Crazy Eyes there, Kroger, if you will. That's pretty good for your single targets. You have really good options there. Again, Ku's also good for the Oni Land challenge quest. I don't remember that challenge quest being particularly hard though, so I don't think you have to worry about it. Okay, so yeah, you don't really, if I was going to level anything here, it would just be skill ranks on the already existing stuff. You don't really need to level anything new if you've got your bases super covered here. Okay, so Aussie is definitely worth getting those skill ranks up, even at NP1, which I assume he is. Ushi, you definitely want to get that up. So you're definitely ready though for Demeter. I mean, between Aussie, Ushi, Martha, you can beat Demeter. Like you're fine. Martha is going to be super helpful in Lost Alt 5 and beyond even. Alex is actually good to get to 70 just for farming and stuff, but it's not really that important. But like if you have extra stuff. Ryoma's probably not worth using against Demeter though. I hate to say that, it's just not. Like MP1, Aussie's better. Ushi's better. Ushi, Aussie, Martha, that's how you're going to beat Demeter. Then you've got Medusa for farming. Ushi's now leveled, yeah, you'll be fine then. So you got Asclepius, that's good. So for Martha, you don't really need to level her skill ranks a whole lot then. Maybe level the buff removal one, but like a debuff clear, you don't really need to worry about the cooldown. So keeping it at low rank is fine if you're pushed on mats. Asclepius is a big help for this account. It's a big help for all accounts, really. Let's see, what do you got for DPS? You got shooting for DPS. You've got kind of caster Gil. You might want to level though Babbage or Ku's only NP1 though. I was gonna say you don't really need to level Babbage, you could level Ku instead, but if Ku's NP1, he's not worth it. I hate to say that, but he's just not. Ku's not worth it. Caster Ku's not worth it at NP1. I would level Babbage then. Because even with shooting, I would still want a DPS caster on this account, and Babbage would be the one. You could do a VC Braun though, because the VC Braun's good for farming because of his massive battery, and he gets that upgraded NP in like 6 months on an A or something. But you got Mozart and all that stuff. Definitely get your Chen Gong up. He's pretty universally good. Can Iris real Asclepius and Merlin work for the Meph challenge quest? I don't remember that challenge quest very well. I remember that there was insta-death stuff. And I know Asclepius is good there. Probably. I don't see why not. I mean, if you summoned a friend's Merlin, I don't remember how that challenge quest works exactly, but I don't think you would want to do Merlin, Irisville, and Asclepius. You'd probably want to space them out. Right, you wouldn't want to make that like your front row. But yeah, I remember there's insta-death there, and you know, he's a caster and everything. But Merlin's good for everything, so. But a VC Braun would be good for that fight too, actually. A VC Braun is just really good for accounts that are this developed, in my opinion. Especially, I mean, look, do you have Poster Girl? Oh, there's no CE thing. If you have Poster Girl, though, you should, no account should avoid. If you have Poster Girl, you should always level a VC Braun, just period. There's just no way around it. Okay, so we have massive Kojiro there. I respect that. That's nice to see. I always enjoy those. And he really needs to be grailed that much. He doesn't really work at like 80, right? He needs, his toolkit's great, but his stats suck, so you gotta go all the way. So Kurotsugu's NP2. Why do you not have 100 Face? There's no reason not to have 3 stars. 100 Face would be really good on this account because of Kurotsugu, but you don't really need it because you've got Jack and Kojiro. Like that's fine. But 100 Face has better synergy with Kurotsugu than any of your other assassins. Like Chiom isn't half as good. Like not even half as good. But you don't need to even use Kurotsugu, right? Like you can just use Jack and Kojiro for everything, and then you got Gray for farming. Yan is pretty much useless on this account. Like honestly, Yan is so pointless on this account. Until he gets buffed, his other buff is just, there's no reason to ever use him instead of Jack or Kojiro. Like there's none. It's just totally pointless. Honestly, leveling Wu would not be bad if you like her because Wu is really good with Scatty and such. And you've got a lot of quick DPS on this account, so Wu would definitely be worth leveling, in my opinion. Fuma's already leveled enough, you don't really need to level A or stuff more than that. Yeah, your assassin slot's fine though, just Jack and Kojiro are just super strong. So we've got Herc, that, so you should get his second skill up more than any of his others. The second skill is the most important one to get to 10, I would say. You can do evade, then use all this stuff, and use evade again, so that's always the way to go. And, it takes a lot of proofs, so you may not be able to level everything. So Grailed Caligula, that's also very unique. Cap'n would approve. You got Lancelot, that's good with your Scatty. You've got Spartacus on the way up. We'd be worth getting his third skill up a little bit to help with the farming. But yeah, Spartacus is always worth it for farming. And I would level Asterios. There's really no reason not to level Asterios. You never know when an annoying boss is going to come down the pipeline that he can interact with. And he's just so easy to level. It takes very little embers, and the only skill you need to level up is the second skill. And the mats required for it are like nothing. So there's just no reason not to level. Hate Wu, yeah, if you don't like Wu, you don't have to level her, but the question is, if you hate Wu, why is she 70, 718, right? Because I have Wu and she's level 1, 10, 10, 10. I mean, 1, 1, 1. God. Imagine level 1, 10, 10, 10. That's like hacking the game. You can't have your skill ranks unlocked that way. So you got super big Okita Altar, which unfortunately is still not really that good. Wow, you're the first person I've seen use that skin for Quets. We've seen a lot of Quetses on a lot of the account reviews that we've done, and I've never seen someone use the Black Mask or Evil Mask or whatever the hell it's called. I'm pretty sure that's the first one. So you got Mash, 10, 10, 10, that's good. The good news is, though, when Okita Altar is that upgraded, she can just brute force things, right? And she's applicable often because of her class, so you can brute force things. But she's no melt. But you don't need a melt, right? It's good enough, right? You don't need alter egos very often. Because when you do fight foreigners, they kind of are designed where you don't have to have an alter ego. So if you have any alter ego, they're going to be easier. And Okita will shred them just because she's so upgraded. And then for farming, she's applicable pretty often. So you can get pretty good use out of Okita when she's that upgraded. It would be worth getting Mothman skills up if you want to use him. Let's see. I used Okita against everything I can. I beat the Fate Zero challenge. That was what? That was... I think I was Saber Deermid and Kuritsugu or something. That was kind of a fun one. We never got to do that one a second time, though. Planning on getting Ilya and Melt. Well, from a gameplay perspective, you don't need all of those, right? Like, you're not going to need that many alter egos. And if you like them, go for it. But, like, they're really derivative against each other, especially Ilya and Melt. Like, they're really derivative against each other. Oh, he is 10-10-10 now? Nice. Yeah, he's very good for Gilfest, and so is like Ku Altar, stuff like that. There's a few fights in those that he's good for. Oh, she's 2k fo'd, so yeah, in terms of just raw stats, she's ready to go. So I feel like you're going to level 120 Okita before Nero, because she's the 2k fo'd one, and she's got higher bond there. Okay, no CE picture. Well, you'll be fine. I don't think you really have to work on that much. Mostly just skill ranks. You don't really have any gaps. Maybe get Martha's buff removal up, because you don't have a whole lot of buff removal on this account. But yeah, there's not too much to worry about, really. Okay. Let's see. Let's do a bit more of this Stheno account, because we've beaten most of the really hard challenge quests that are available right now. So let's do some boring-ass America stuff, just so I can get that over with. Wait. Oh, I need... There we go. That's what I need. Okay, I'm getting my OBS confused. Yeah, America is obviously really boring, but if I don't get it done, we're gonna be here forever. If only Kojiro had Divinity. I'm sorry I'm so low energy today, but like I said, I'm pooped. I'll probably just... The stream will be maybe more brief today just because of that. I don't like streaming when I can't, you know, be as entertaining as I normally would be, so... Sometimes you just gotta take it easy. Thankfully, things should be looking up, you know, from now on. Like it might still take a little while, but, you know, my symptoms should start getting better and better, and my reaction to the shots start getting better and better, so uphill from here, I think. Or downhill from here. What? That doesn't make any sense. Look, it's easier to progress downhill. How does that make any sense? Why do we have a saying, it's an uphill battle, right? And that's like if you're pushing a bike uphill or something, that's really hard, right? So that, you know, you call it an uphill battle because it's difficult. But then when things are going to shit, you say things are going downhill. That doesn't make any sense. So what I get from this is from our phrases, hills just suck, right? That's what it seems to sound like. All hills are bad, and you just don't want anything to do with them, right? Because uphill, downhill, it's all bad. Although honestly, if for using a bike as an analogy, downhill, if it's like a real steep downhill, that actually sucks on a bike, because then you're like gonna crash. So. Downhill, you lost control. Uphill is hard, yeah. Need that even terrain. Let's kill the 15k one here. Don't embarrass me here, Darius. You big bad level 40. Chat, we're gonna play the summer event on this account. I don't know about that. I have not really decided what our level priority is going to be. I've never leveled a single skill. We haven't like gone ham on anything yet. We will, but we're taking our time here. I'll probably decide during the summer event what units we're wanting to focus on. You mean fall event? Technically, it'll still like in Japan. Summer ends on September the 23rd, and the event starts on September 7th. So. It might go on out of summer, like the event might still be going when summer is over, but it'll technically still be in summer. But it is pretty silly. You know, I should have done that to Darius. He doesn't have his upgraded NP, and I don't think he's NP 5. And I don't have his bust resist down and all that, right? So killing these side ones is actually going to be the problem, not killing the middle ones. So that was a mistake. You know, I guess this account would be obligated to try to get Summer Stheno if that existed. Thankfully, she's not popular enough that that's never going to exist. But that would be really annoying. That I would have to do that. I suspect that would suck. Who knows though? Maybe she'd have a fun toolkit. You never know. But let's be real. That there's never going to be a Summer Stheno. Like let's be serious, chat. They'd be more likely to do Summer Uriel, like a 1,000,000%. They would be more likely to do that. Because she's more popular, and because she's a 3-star, they'd be happy to make a 4 or a 5-star version, right? Because then they could make money off of Uriel, where otherwise they don't. Probably could have killed it with Uriel's Buster card. I just want to know who the male costumes are going to be. I'm worried we're not going to get a 3-star because some of the leaks, you know, not all of them are real. Only one of them is probably real. But, well, of course only one of them is going to be real. But it's kind of hard to tell which one it is. But anyway, last year they didn't do a 3-star summer. Right? So I'm kind of worried they're not going to do one. I have a feeling Nasu is going out of his way to not do the Hawaiian shirt because he's wanting to save it for like a Fate Hollow collab or something. Like it's just been too long at this point. Like they've said that Ku is one of the most requested servants to get a costume. They're aware of it because they've made like references to the Hawaiian shirt in summer events over and over again. They've done many male summer costumes at this point. So the fact that they haven't done it, it's got to be intentional, which I think is dumb. You shouldn't have, it's stupid, but I do think it's intentional at this point. But who knows, maybe they'll just be like, fuck it guys, you know, we're never going to get around to Fate Hollow, so let's just add it now, so maybe that'll happen. I think this is Beowulf and the Dragon right here. I might have to take this seriously, let's see, for using stuff this week. I think the dragon is the rider. I mean, of course, because Beowulf is Berserker. David's okay here. Q's okay here. Technically, I mean, you know, that's what we're supposed to do on this account, but it's total garbage. You can't really do that stuff until we have Hans prepared. I guess that means Hans will have to be high priority on this account, though, because we've got to get Hans' third skill unlocked and ranked up and all that if we want to have any kind of success there. Liz, get off my team. I'd rather just use 6 of my units. Get that garbage out of here. Oh yeah, we could do this. He's only 1/1/1 though, and he doesn't have his upgraded NP, and he doesn't have his upgraded third skill. But it'd still be okay. Bring George, try to make... You know what, for the memes. Oh god, he's level 35. Hold on, can I upgrade him? I need to get his guts. Why does he take hero proofs though? I'm gonna have to do it eventually. There's no not leveling George, right? Oh, wait, that's a double negative. There's no getting away without leveling George. That's still a double negative. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. Don't think about it too hard. Well, his next rank up is easy. Okay, we're gonna finally do some foe items. I don't think I'll ever regret health foeing George, so. Let's see if we get a lucky one here. I'm actually tempted to ascend him again. That's kind of over leveling a little bit, but it'd be nice to unlock his guts. And there's just no world where you ever regret leveling George, so. Yeah, I'll probably ascend him again. Just get it out of the way. Kind of weird that he's our first unit that we're like actually leveling, but whatever. Alright. The first skill that we level up. I did not really predict George was going to be the first thing I put effort into, but you get a lot of gains off of it for the kind of content that we're doing. Alright, that's good enough for now. We should be able to hold the line a little bit here. Do I have Chin? I don't have Chin's third skill yet. I have no damage support right now. How am I supposed to see big numbers? Hey, Take Two Legend, thank you for the gifted sub to Red. Red's here all the time, so. Wait, how did you even give Red a gifted sub? Red was already a sub. Can you do that? I guess it just means you don't have to resub as soon? Is that how that works? I had no idea you could even do that, but yeah, thank you, I appreciate it, man. All these cope scopes. Where is the damage, man? Alright, this ought to get the job done. This song's pretty sick, man. I need to level craft essences so I can actually find the stuff that I want. That song I actually cannot link because it's not anywhere on the internet right now. Me and Beastly are like the only two people that have it. Because it's a remix. Now, I can link you the regular version of it. I'm going to post that on YouTube soon, actually, just because of that. But it's mobile. It's a remix of Mobile Suit, the song from Gundam Unicorn. So if you look up like Gundam Unicorn soundtrack, Mobile Suit, you'll find it. But it won't be that version. It'll be a different version because that one was a remix. Although the original is actually really good, so. And they're not that different. They have a pretty similar vibe. Okay, 92k though. That's kind of tanky. I'll save the charm for now. Well, we already have our NPs. Unfortunately, we have a craft essence with 0 attack and 0 damage modifier. And we don't really have any buffs, and we don't. Oh my god, I should have charmed Beowulf. What the fuck was that? Yeah, no Siegfried 3rd skill upgrade, like no Buster Up, no upgraded MP. So this is not gonna be as good as one might hope, but. Damn it. By the way, lore-wise, Beowulf is immune to charm, but gameplay he is not. Couldn't decide if I wanted Stheno NP game there or not. If HP CEs had offensive effects, would that offset the? I mean, it would offset it some, but it wouldn't be worth it because, like, it's pointless. You should not give damage CEs full health stats, right? It's so illogical. There's no, it's dumb, right? Like, health stats should be on defensive and support CEs. Dude, that fucking Sakura CE is so dumb, right? Like, you should never, there's just no point to it. And the thing is, with the way NPs are calculated, raw attack stat is really important, right? And you can test this, right? If, for example, if you use Cope Scope and NP with it 3 or 4 times, and then use the same unit against the same enemies, and do K-Scope 3 or 4 times, you're gonna see a pretty noticeable damage difference, right? And then especially if K-Scope is like level 100, right? Because then it's 0 attack versus 2000 attack. You will absolutely see a difference. And then you combine that with also having offensive effects because you've got Golden Sumo, Drunken Jolter, Aerial Drive. Those have attack stats and an offensive effect. And it's big. It's a big difference. Like this Siegfried, if he had like Aerial Drive there instead of Cope Scope, he would have done a noticeable amount of extra damage there. So it's very aggravating when they make pure DP. It's one thing if it's a hybrid CE, right? But when it's a pure, just 100% offensive CE, but then it has pure health, it ruins it entirely. I don't know why I bothered healing there. It'd only been worth it if I killed Beowulf right here. Because then only the dragon would attack and the defense up would be enough, but there's no way he's surviving a hit, so that was kind of pointless. Let's see here. Who isn't immune to charm? I mean, there's people like berserkers are pretty much universally immune to it, and then sabers are almost always immune to it. Lancers are normally immune to it, and then a lot of people with high willpower can normally stop it even without a skill. But then there's a bunch of people that aren't a class that's normally immune or normally has magic resist, but they happen to have skills. Like Edmund has a skill that makes him immune. Kojiro has a skill that makes him immune. There's a lot of fucking people that are immune to charm, but there's plenty that aren't. Like there's quite a few that aren't. If you went through the entire cast, because the higher your magic resist, the more like naturally hard you are to charm. So like Saber and magic resist A is very common in Fate for some reason. So you look at all the high magic resist people, you look at all the berserkers, and then you look at people who just have wonky abilities. It's probably actually kind of 50-50. You would think it'd be less for the people that are immune, but I bet you it's around 50-50. I don't. This song name I cannot pronounce because it's German, but it's from Xenoblade Chronicles. Although technically, it's funny. I'm part German. I'm German Korean for the most part, and but I can't speak like a German. My sister can. My sister is fluent in Japanese and German. Making me look bad over here. But yeah, I'm more Korean than German. But yeah, I do have a chunk of German in me, so. It's a great combo for food. I agree. Dude, my grandmother, you know, she was born in Seoul and everything. Best food I ever had in my entire life. She was just god tier cook. Just incredible. Fucking nuts. And she was like really proud of it. She put a lot of effort into it. So obviously I wasn't born, but when my parents got married, so my grandmother, she stayed in Korea a lot. She didn't, she wasn't always stateside, but she came stateside for the wedding when my mother and father got married. And she did she catered the whole thing, right? And it was crazy because basically no one there knew her because she didn't, you know, live stateside. So she was like a real stranger to basically everyone there, other than like her direct family. But everyone remembered her food, right? Like, everyone that attended that wedding was like, "Oh my god, that food was amazing." So yeah, she dedicated a lot of effort into it. She was an awesome grandma. She was like the cool grandmother. She tried really hard to, because she didn't get to see us very often, so she tried really hard to, you know, get to know us and whatnot. But she is very, very cool. Okay, need to delete this Beowulf here. Kojiro with the fancy stuff. I'm gonna evade, even though I have the defense buff. I get the crit buff anyway. That really didn't do the kind of damage that I was hoping for. Low levels, man. Trying to stop Beowulf from just deleting somebody, because if he busters someone, they're pretty much out of there. Stheno, you're killing me right now. You're gonna get your charm when it doesn't matter anymore. Her charm would have been great for Beowulf, but man, this is awkward. Let's do. I kind of just want to do the Brave Chain just so I get the NP. Yep, I'm gonna do that. I just read an article that said The Legend of Zelda is the most tragic video game series of all time. That is bullshit. That's just stupid. Someone hasn't played enough video games. Like, that's so dumb. It's not even close. I wouldn't even put that in the running. And like, God, look at some of the indie games out there. Dude, there are some indie games out there that are just like depression incarnate, right? Like, The Legend of Zelda is pretty mainstream. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's some garbage right there. Alright, what am I even gonna do here? I guess Kojiro can face tank, right? He's counterclassing, it's AoE. The thing is, we don't really need anyone else on the field anymore. Okay, we're gonna save Stheno because she's an assassin, and we have faith that Kojiro is gonna be fine here somehow. Why would you even make an article like that? That's so random. Like even if Legend of Zelda was a sadder, tragic tale, I just don't see why you would make an article like that. It just sounds stupid. Quick down. Wow, even Siegfried lived and he didn't have his dragon defense up buff. But that's not very clickbaity though, right? Like, obviously any article for websites like that are purely made for money, right? Obviously, but That's not a very good clickbait title. Like, I don't see how that's going to get people to even care most of the time, really. Alright, Kojiro kind of in peril here. Watch this quick down. You know what? I don't think it's worth doing the Brave Chain. The quick down's probably gonna make it too shitty, so we'll do the Stheno Buster card. Well... So, I bet you they picked this color for the dragon to try to best match the Bond CE of Beowulf. Like, I suspect that's why they did that, because they made, like, you don't only fight brown or green, right? Not red. So that makes it more like Beowulf Bond CE. Hey, it's what, Sentai? Thank you for the 3 months. Not quite sure how to say that, but that's pretty standard for me, I feel like. Fucking Liz just scared the dragon off, is what that is. Alright, this is just Beowulf. I don't remember how much health he has. You know what? Let's use Rama. Let's do that. That's kind of fun. Do I use George with Cope Scope just so he gets the defense buff? Nah, we'll give him this one. That makes more sense. That's actually really good for him when you... like early game if you don't have the... Oh, we have this one though. It's 10... Oh, that's 8%. Do I have the abs one yet? I don't think I do. Yeah, I do not. Alright, so let's look at this one. It's only needed for 3 turns anyway. Hey, Mr. Isit, thank you for the gifted sub. I sound like such a shill right now. I'm like so low energy. I really do apologize, everyone, but hopefully tomorrow I'll be more in shape for this kind of thing. Brain working kind of slow right now. Grandpa Green gotta take it easy. What the hell do I put in the back row? Beowulf. So George is absolutely going to die. Like, we don't have to worry about that. All right, we'll do this. And Kurusum Day with the gifted sub to GP. Very nice, thank you, man. 53 gifted subs. And then okay, now you guys are just fucking with me. Now Truck-kun with the resub for 9 months. Thank you guys. Much scam train in here though. So Kurusum Day, how is Gilfest going for you challenge quest wise? Because I feel like your account was pretty prepared there. I feel like you'd be doing all right. You know what? Let's do this. I forgot that we already had that. Really, I should do that. Yeah, well, we'll do that. Okay, this is pretty good right here. That, and I guess that. Fuck it. Hey, Marps, the 200-bit scam train indeed. Okay, off we go. I've only done 2 so far, Rice Man and Ezo, so you haven't really gotten into it yet. Well, you've got good units for it, so I think you'll be fine. Wait, what's wrong with Canada? Which part of Canada do you live in? I know so many people in Canada these days. What are you talking about, say? 300k. That's a noticeable step up because we, you know, from like London and whatnot. That's something. All right, you're getting somewhere. All right, George has now got 4-hit immunity essentially. Raw Kane with the 2-month reset. Everyone's going crazy right now. When I can barely formulate a sentence. Feels great. Guess I can wait a turn for guts, but it's not like we're living 5 turns. Thank you guys. Man, Beowulf is actually getting kind of countered by the David thing, because Beowulf only gets 2 actions per turn because old school berserkers are like that. So, especially if he decides to cast his skill, it's going to take him a minute to get through all this. George actually is probably going to live longer than I wanted then. I didn't really think about that. And Crusume Day with another gifted sub to Lightning. That's a... Hey, names I can say though, how about that? Although I don't think I'm saying Crusume Day correctly, but let's go... that. You know, actually, David NPing here is kind of bad because it guarantees that Beowulf will attack twice. But seriously, dude, thank you for all the support. Like, that's a lot of gifted subs. Like, that really is. Like, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it kind of hit me. It's just... It's wild, man. I cannot believe I make my living from this nonsense. It's crazy. Why am I healing George? I need George to die to bring in Stheno. What am I doing? Well, George's very tanky right now. That was absolutely a bad decision. Beowulf is not demonic. We might really pay for that. Honestly, that's really helped me because, you know, my health over these last like 2.5 years, you know, my health got really bad for a while there. It was a real problem, and until I really got control of my symptoms, it was so hard for me to sleep. I mean, some of my regulars probably remember there was a period where, like, you know, I often couldn't stream, you know, a day here and there just because just so often I wouldn't get enough sleep. Thankfully, that's mostly behind me these days because, like, things have gotten better. Been working with a specialist doctor and everything, and things are definitely improved for me. But during that period, there was really been no way that I could have, like, gone outside and, like, just gone to work and stuff. So I'm very lucky. Like, I'm a lucky son of a bitch that between COVID and then all these health problems that you know, I've been able to work at home. I mean, just it's so lucky. Like, I'm very, very fortunate. Not getting enough sleep is brutal, like, especially when it's a repeated thing, when you repeatedly have sleep drop. He just double buffed. Well, someone's about to get blasted. Oh my god, Beowulf has sure hit. I should have brought Atlas. Well, someone is going to fucking die. Please don't hit Rama in the face. That's just, my one request here. I would prefer David not to die either, but if someone's got to get punched, it'd be best if it was George. Account reviews will be open soon. We're almost caught up. Well, David's got that defense buff, but it's at rank 1, so... Yeah, no, I didn't think so. Good try, David, good try. I think it's at level, it's like 30% defense, 30% defense buff at rank 1. Which is still good, but not enough. Okay, just... That's twice now. Might as well cast this now because you can't use it for the NP, so fuck it. We got this though, it's fine. Rama did plenty of damage earlier. Even though we don't have a single cooldown reduction for George, we still went around the wheel. Imagine if we could have done that 2 turns ago though, how much better that would have been. We've never generated enough stars to do any... I could do double quick on Stheno here and potentially crit next turn, but I don't need to, so... I don't know why I taunted with George if I was going to do that. I mean, again, it doesn't matter, the stage is over, but... Really, I didn't need a Stheno NP there. defense sound is kind of fun. Let's see how much damage we do. Super overkill right here. Wait, does George... I thought David got more defensive per rank, but it might just be the heal. That would actually make sense if it was the heal. Let's look. That would explain to why he was close to surviving. Well, I don't know if close is the right word, but... Yeah, it's just the heal. So it's 50% out of the box. That's really good, actually. It's still good to level, though, because the extra heal can really help for like, really making sure he can stay out as long as you need him to. And then the lower cooldown. The lower cooldown's awesome. But David mostly just needs to level his second skill. That's the only one that like super matters. Oh, and Lonely with the Lonely Boy with the resub. I didn't get the notification on that one, but thank you, Lonely, for the 20 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. People doing Paimon Royale in my chat. What have we come to? What is this nonsense? Alright, let's do an account review, and then I might do like a farming stage or two on Gilfest, just because I needed to keep up on that. But then I'll probably wrap up. I know it's a really short stream, and I really do apologize, but I want to make sure when I stream I can be my normal self, and I feel kind of oof right now, and so I'm kind of quieter. I'm not really energized, right? And that doesn't make the best stream, so we'll probably call it a little early today. But tomorrow I think I'll be good and ready to go. I would just like some JP content though. That would be awesome. Let's do Mega Quinty. It's Mega Quinty. This one I think is a flex account, but it's one of the older reviews we've had. Yeah, it even says flex. Can you roast my account? Thanks Skulls are NP1 unless stated otherwise. That's reasonable. Bedivere NP4, Siegfried NP5, very nice. Well, totally worth it then to get a second skill to 10, why not? Hell, if you like him, maybe slap 2 Grails on him at some point, get him to level 90, right? That's not bad, but you might not like him enough, and it could just be an accident that he's NP5. So Mordred's NP2. So between Mordred and Siegfried and all that, you've got really good farming options. Mordred is just so good for farming, and she's 10-10-10, so very prepared there. Okita's NP2. You honestly never need another DPS Saber. I mean, she's that good. She's for single target boss nuking. Oh, this is JP. Oh, okay, so this is the recent shit. I wonder how far into the game he is. I wonder if he's already fought Fluffy or not. I suspect if he's a flex account, I expect he has. But I was gonna say, Okita is a very good DPS for Fluffy. Like, absolutely. That really proves how much value she has. So Grail David. And now, normally I would say this passes the David test, but because he's grailed, the test is greater, right? We treat you unfairly, right? You gotta get that 10-10-10, man, when you have a grailed David. That's the standard, right? But you got Tristan, and Tristan's NP2. So oh my god, that's so powerful. Like almost max Tristan, and at NP2, such a good nuker. That combined with David is just so strong. And you got Ishtar, and Ishtar even at NP1 is very good because she's very normal card damage based. So Ishtar is very good. You got Super Orion, one of the better archers in the game for murdering challenge quests. So you have such good options there for challenge quests. You got a Grailed Robin, there's more good taste right there. Your Billy is scuffed as fuck, which I gotta give that some shit because Billy's awesome and it seems to be like a pretty established account. So at least get his second skill up for God's sakes. But yeah, that Billy makes me sad right there. In truth, though, you don't really need to level Billy when you've got Hot Wheels, Ishtar, Tristan, David, and this is JP, so Tristan's got his buff, so he's got a battery, and Hot Wheels has a battery, and Hot Wheels is super good. As good as Hot Wheels is, though, because Hot Wheels is NP1, he's really not that high a priority on this account with all the other archers you got, but I'm sure you're aware of that. Okay, you got a Rasha, got his third skill high enough for farming. Look at all these maxed Lancers here, so Grailed Ku, best account we've seen today then, obviously, because the other one was 90 as well, so I guess tied. So you got Canis, she's maxed out, Reshkull's NP2, Scath is NP2, Melds is NP2, Valkyrie's NP4. Do you have Scatty? Negative, but you've got Merlin, so what does it even matter? This account is so prepared for challenge quests, and you have loads of single target options and AoE options. Like if Scath is NP2, she can nuke like everything. I suspect this account actually probably has used Scath quite a bit for some boss killing, I would expect, especially like with some of the Divinity ones. Also, Scath is extremely good for killing Fluffy. Actually, I might say so far, Scath is as good as Okita is. I would say Tristan or Scath is the best DPS for Fluffy on this account so far. But yeah, you've got probably worth leveling Leonidas' first skill some. All accounts need those reliable taunt walls, so I'd say that's worth doing. Might be worth actually getting Nightingale Archer up, just because she's a buff removal resistance unit. Those are so rare, and they can make some challenge quests so much easier. Like, it really is handy to have in your back pocket. A lot of your skill ranks are scuffed here on the other Lancers, but the other Lancers doesn't really matter considering like how upgraded what you have is. Like, Theon's scuffed, but you've got a Grailed Melt, so who cares, right? They're very comparable for farming. So Achilles, really good shapes. Ozzy's NP2, so there's your Rider Killer. I'm sure that murdered Demeter, assuming you're that far into the game. Got a Grailed Ushi, that's super good. Yeah, Ushi, those three Riders right there, Achilles, Ozzy, Ushi, that's all the Rider you ever need, other than George, right, for like taunt stuff. You got Martha up, skill rank's pretty high, so that helps with debuffs. It'd be worth getting her to 10 for utilities. Do you have Asclepius? You do have Asclepius. Your skill ranks are pathetic. That's absolutely pathetic, and as established as an account this is, you could definitely get those skills up, which is worth doing because Asclepius is one of those budget units that can really bail you out even when you're an OP account. Herbertrot, he beat Fluffy. Wait. Oh, right, yeah. If you have Herbertrot, yeah, you have to beat Lost Belt 6. So yeah, he's already beaten Fluffy. Good call there. So Merlin, OP as fuck. It's funny, there's such a thing right now where people think Merlin is bad, but they're just stupid. I mean, Merlin is still so broken. He's not broken for farming, but I to this day, I think he's the most impactful support for beating challenge quests in main story fights. He is not the best support if you want to show off and use all the whale stuff in like 3-turn a challenge quest or something, but most players will never have access to that much stuff. Like this account doesn't. This is a good account, but it doesn't have Waver, Caster Toria, Merlin, right? It can't just do all that crazy, bullshit. So Merlin is one of the best things you could possibly have for helping you out. So yeah, Merlin is so good. So Anastasia, very good for farming, to be honest. Not so good for challenge quests and whatnot, but she is good for farming. And then for DPS, though, you've got Plot Monk. That's very good. She's only NP1, so it's a bit rough, but she's still good. Got Cersei, though, at NP5. So Cersei and Plot Monk together, pretty much all the assassin killing you need. Where is your Cersei? Because she's 888. You got Castigal at NP5, but his skill ranks suck. It's probably worth leveling his skill ranks on this account, because you don't have Caster Toria and you don't have Waver. So you could use that extra kind of loopy support nonsense and just AoE stuff. Like, Caster Gill's a good support. He really is. You've got an okay amount of art units, too. So I think it'd be worth it to level your Caster Gill. Other than that, though, you got your bases pretty covered. Your Mozart's fucking pathetic, and Mozart's another one of those budget units that can be worth leveling, even if you are using things like Merlin, just because of guaranteed crits and stuff like that. This account, though, you've really gotten those skill ranks up on the units that you like. I think that's 100 face? The Presence Concealment is too high there. Between my bad eyesight and like her being faded out because she's max and she doesn't light them up anymore, it's hard to tell. I think that's 100 face, though. I think that's stage 100 face. Which, with that and Lee together, that's so strong. And that gives you more reasons to want to level your art supports over here, because it's a really good art DPS there. Jet Kita, very good. Izo, more art stuff. Kurotsugu would be alright on this account. The utility with the targeted taunt and stuff would be good. Do you have Qin Gong? Yes, but he's in really bad There's no excuse for that. No account this established should have Qin Gong that unupgraded. You absolutely gotta get that sorted out. But yeah, you don't see this often. Grailed Izo and 100 face. It's normally one or the other. They're kind of at odds with each other. But this guy's just like, fuck it, I grail both of them. And they work well together. They're both art. And they work with the same supports. Her art resist down will work with his NP and everything. So they work just fine together, so no problem. You got decent AoE options as well. Where's Gray, though? Okay, Gray's right there at the bottom. Okay, so yeah, you're in good shape. You don't really need to level Shiki considering Lee, Izo, 100 face, but Shiki is good, but yeah, you don't need it. Man, I'm so short of breath right now. I'm gonna have to take a break, but I'll wrap up here in a second though. But yeah, it's tough today. Okay, So, shame this guy's not on NA, because that coup alter would murder almost every challenge quest on NA right now. He's just so good and he's 10-10-10. So yeah, that coup alter would shred everything. Big Pimp there, that's handy. An NP3. Where's Jerker? Because Pimp and Jerker work super well together. Okay, Jerker's skill ranks are a bit scuffed. But you can work with Brunhilde and Herc and coup alter and Raiko, right? Plenty of AoE and single target there. That's quite good. Interesting Grail picks on this account. Not stuff that you see too commonly, I would say. Well, I mean, like, Ku and Ushi, I guess, are pretty standard. But I like the David, and I like the, Wait, who's Grailed here? Is anyone Grailed here? I don't think there's any Grailed Berserkers. I feel like this account actually hasn't used that many Grails. I bet you this guy is sitting on a lot of Grails. It's either that or, like, everything. Because, you know, I'm looking at it, there's not really that many Grail targets. Oh, see, there's a Kojiro in there. I missed that. He's not 10-10-10, but he's almost. Definitely get that Kojiro up, though. When you're going to Grail a unit like that, you got to get those skill ranks up. See, this guy must be sitting on a bunch of Grails. I feel like this guy has not... that Ongra, that's scuffed as fuck. 55 out of 65, 111. That's super scuffed. Not that you need it. I mean, you got super strong options. You have Jolter maxed out. Look at this. Got BB maxed out, Kiara maxed out, Meld, other Kiara, Avenger Ushi, right? My god. And then you even got Summer Martha, which that's a lot of nice utility for some stages out there. Very good options here. If it's going to level anything, I'd probably level Passion Left just for the tanky utility if you ever need it for a challenge quest. But yeah, this account doesn't need much. Mostly just needs to work on skill ranks and some of its Grailed units like David. That's... Yeah, I mean, oh, Grailed Caesar. Okay, that's taste. That is taste, right? That's absolute taste. The fucking skill ranks aren't, though. What are we doing here? Imagine grailing such a man of culture and then not getting those skill ranks to 10-10-10. But I do like these Grail targets. Alright, I do apologize, a bit brief today. I feel like I really scuffed all these count reviews, so I feel like I robbed some people, because again, I'm kind of just low energy, but I'm very short of breath right now, so I kind of got to wrap this up. We will probably be doing a lot better tomorrow, though, and I think we'll be able to sit down and do some nonsense. I really hope that we can do some stuff on JP, though. I really want to play my ult accounts and stuff. I'm like ready, and but they're like, no. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out. I really do apologize about the briefer stream, but I am just so beat right now. Let's see, what do we got on NA real quick? Challenge quest wise, I kind of forgot where we're at. What's a fun? We could do the Ezo one soon. That one's pretty fun. Although I kind of like the Shiba one more, to be honest. They're kind of similar, but I really do like the Shiba one. So that's some fun stuff. Yeah, we'll probably do a few more of these. I'm not going to do that many of these challenge quests on stream, though, because the hard ones you got to like sit down and puzzle out, and I hate doing that on stream because of the peanut gallery. Don't need another Lost Belt 6, thanks. But okay, that's enough for today. Let's see if like Cairo is streaming or something so we can pass on the love here. Nope, no Cairo stream. What do we got here? Here we'll raid Blue Darner. We've raided him before, I do believe. Surprisingly, this man is playing NA, but he's actually playing through Shimosa right now, and not Gilfest, so that's abnormal. But we'll hit him up, see what he's up to. All right, thank you, everybody. I'm gonna go relax. And we'll do more stuff tomorrow and probably be a little bit more active than I feel. But thank you all, and I'm out of here.